Welcome, everybody. We are here again today on day 17 of our 30 days, 30 tips challenge on burnout. And I'm really glad that you stay with me every day and that I'm getting all your questions and your comments. This whole thing that started 17 days ago is so alive. And these episodes, these videos, they go on YouTube, they go on Instagram and LinkedIn. And I get your comments and your feedback from all over the place. So thank you so much. And I'm really glad that you find something useful about these videos on burnout. So today we're going to talk about mindfulness and how this can help with burnout. My name is Vasis Sarandopoulou and I'm a psychologist, and I'm here to share my experience, my expertise, my knowledge about mental health and about issues that they're related with here and with mental health. And today we're talking about burnout. And mindfulness. Mindfulness. What is mindfulness? We hear about it so much. Mindfulness is the practice of meditation, and at the same time, it's a whole philosophy around it, which supports what the meditation brings in our life. Yes, we do practice in order to stay at the moment. We try to stay without any distraction in our mind, but at the same time, mindfulness focuses on how we can not judge ourselves and not judge our thoughts and not judge our feelings that we have. So first, realize what we're thinking and what we're feeling by staying at the present moment. And secondly, not judging what comes. That's the two main aspects of mindfulness. And it's difficult. It's not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy. It may sound easy, but it's not. So how these two elements, main elements, core elements of mindfulness help with burnout? First of all, by staying in the present moment is what helps us stay focused. Our brain usually is like having like 20 tabs open in your laptop, and your brain goes from one tab to the other. So what happens with mindfulness is that you train your brain in order to close all the tabs that they're not important and stay focused on the one that you are that you think that is important. So that's one basic thing that happens with mindfulness. Another way that mindfulness helps with burnout is that it helps us realize what's happening at that moment. Imagine that if you didn't pause, because this is what happens with mindfulness, we pause. If you didn't pause, you wouldn't notice how tired you are. And this is a very useful information we actually want when we're talking about burnout. If you don't notice how tired you are, then you will continue working. And if you continue working, you will exhaust yourself. And if you exhaust yourself, ta-da, burnout. So we need that information because sometimes we miss that. We miss getting in touch with ourselves and realizing that, oh, wait a minute, I am very close to my boundaries, to my limits, and I need to stop. We miss that valuable information and we continue working. So mindfulness gives us that pause, and that pause brings that useful information. Another way that mindfulness helps, as we said before, it teaches us how to not judge ourselves, our thoughts, and our feelings. If we continue doing that, judging ourselves, judging our thoughts and our feelings, do you know what happens? A lot of negative thinking, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of indecisiveness, a lot of criticism for us or for others. And after that, you can imagine a lot of anxiety, a lot of broken relationships, a lot of depression. Depression is actually an accumulation of negative thoughts about ourselves. So mindfulness helps us in the long term even prevent depression and anxiety. And last but not least, another way that mindfulness helps us with burnout is actually this provides time for ourselves. Usually I hear people saying, well, I don't have time for mindfulness. Who has 30 minutes, an hour to practice mindfulness? I'm so busy. Yeah, actually, that's a reason why you should practice mindfulness. That's a very good reason, because we need that time for ourselves. And this is what mindfulness creates. the time that we get in touch with ourselves, we get in touch with our thoughts, with our dreams, our hopes, our goals for the future, and focus and understand what's happening and understand what's important for us. These are some fantastic advantages that mindfulness gives us. And that's why we need to practice more, because we're so busy and so distracted, and we need mindfulness in order to remind us of what's important and what's happening here, now, at the present moment. According to studies, people that they're practicing people that they're practicing mindfulness, they have less burnout. They are less anxious. They are less depressed. They are less stressed. Not only after they finish a mindfulness course, but at the same time, it happens, but studies also have shown that this happens even 9 months later. They still have this advantage of mindfulness, even though they don't practice it as much as they did in the beginning. They still have it even 9 months later. So you can imagine what happens if you practice it consistently. So the last part of my tip today is that mindfulness works if you practice it consistently. Mindfulness works if you do at least 10 minutes per day, not to mention 30 minutes a day. Yeah? Mindfulness is like practicing a muscle. When you go to the gym, for example, because you want to work on your muscles here, on your hands, on your arms are not going to change within a day. They need at least a month or maybe 3 months. I think they start forming the muscle. The same thing with our brain. Mindfulness will not change anything within a day. We need to do it consistently for a long period of time. And slowly our brain is trained into thinking in a different way, being more focused, being more motivated, and feeling lighter, feeling that the brain is not carrying all these open tabs, is not carrying the weight of the whole world. So for that reason, let's start practicing mindfulness today, even 5 minutes, and then another 5 minutes later. It doesn't need to be something huge. Little steps, small baby steps. If you're interested, I can give you information about the mindfulness course. That's a course that starts in a couple of weeks on the 15th of February. And it's going to be organized by us and facilitated by our mindfulness coach, Cassia. If you're interested, let me know and I will give you more information about that. But you can always try by yourself. You can always do things by yourself. There are many apps that they are talking about mindfulness. You can always do it as little as possible. For sure, it's going to help. I hope that today you got an idea about mindfulness and how useful it is for preventing or even recovering from burnout. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you very much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Take good care of yourself and see you again tomorrow with day 18 of the 30 days, 30 tips on burnout. Have a good day.